Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1287. It is Friday. Welcome to the free for all. Oh, I didn't change my name. I am not. Can I edit my name in? Let's see. Let's just do Bo. Hey, there we go. There we go. All right. Ernie is not with us this morning. Ernie did have more issues last night. My wife put him in bed, and then he did his like whiny crying thing, and I woke up, and so my wife brought in his crate because he does like his crate, which is good. You know, Biscuit hated her crate, but I think early on it was like her safe place, and then it's like, hey, I don't want to be in this crate anymore. Ernie's still in that phase where it's like, we'll come upstairs and he'll be tired. He'll go, if he's tired, he'll go into the crate. So it's like, well, maybe he wants to sleep in his crate at night. And it's weird that this is just within the last 2 nights, this has started where he doesn't want to sleep in bed. So my wife put him down into his crate, and I think he whined and cried a little bit, but then he chilled out. He did get up. I heard him at 4:30, so I went and took him out to go potty at 4:30. He didn't poop though, because I brought him inside because I heard like a really odd sounding animal sound. And we do have coyotes. Do you call them coyotes or coyotes? I call them coyotes. People in Arizona call them coyotes. People in South Dakota call them coyotes. So we had coyotes in our neighborhood. So I heard like this scary sound. I'm like, okay, 5-pound fluffer dog, we're going in the house. So so he's in, and I put him in bed, and he slept. So, and hopefully he's still sleeping in bed. Speaking of weird animal sounds though, let me show you this if you didn't see it on my Twitter last night. So my wife was with Ernie in the backyard last night, and I was actually getting ready. This is something that'll take your appetite away. I was getting ready to make a sandwich or something for dinner, and my wife goes, "Hey." Actually, she didn't go, "Hey." She goes, "Hey, there's a dead animal out here." So she was playing with Ernie in the backyard, throwing the rope around, and Ernie discovered whatever the hell these things are. And so my wife said dead animal, and I'm thinking, which is common. Like, we have a lot of wildlife in our backyard: squirrels, rabbits, birds of all kinds, ducks, geese, mice, ground squirrels. So I just figured it's probably it's getting to be that time for like mice to be out and about looking for winter homes. So I thought maybe it's probably just a dead mouse, a bird got it or something. So I went into the garage, got a shovel, and went to the backyard, and my wife like points it out, and I'm like, what is this? So this was the first object I saw. Oh, makes me want to throw up. So I took the photo. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm taking a picture." Why? I don't know what this is. So this, my initial thought was intestines. And because it's like, it's almost like a sack. It's definitely insides of something. So I took the shovel and I threw it in the pond because I didn't want it to be in like the yard, or in like they just mowed down by the pond. They mow it once a year. So when I threw it, I got like a whiff and it smelled like poop. So intestines kind of make sense, I guess. and it floats. It did float in the pond. So yuck. So so I dumped that. I go back into the yard and Ernie found another one. This thing. Oh. And it's like you can see like the veins. So I don't know what the hell that is. I'm guessing it's like heart, liver, I don't know. No, it's not a heart. I don't know. What would that be? Oh. So so that was disgusting. So I threw that. That one actually sunk. That actually sunk. Look at Cooter Lev's comment on the right. Cooter Lev says, hopefully you won't be out long. Morning. Do you still have power, Herman? Those are the Cooter comments I see. So yeah, so I don't know what the hell those things are. I'm guessing insides of some type of animal. So that's what we handled. And then I kind of lost my appetite after that. It's like, oh, like I'm kind of like disgusted right now just looking. His Twitter comment. The Twitter comment by Cooter Lev. LRS eggs. LRS eggs. So that was my night. Hey, the Madison Card Show is tomorrow at the Sheraton Hotel, John Nolen Drive. 140 dealer tables. Show runs 9 to 3. Free admission. Remember, this month we are just doing the main rooms. I guess is what you could call them. The upstairs Capitol Ballroom, the mezzanine, which is basically the hallway outside the Capitol Ballroom. And then downstairs in the Williamson Ballroom. So 140 tables tomorrow. Madison Card Show. Come out and see us. So I'm going to talk about some stuff today, sales stuff that I have completely. What's this show called? Hobby Evolution. My sales strategy. I have multiple sales strategies, but one of my sales strategies, you've already witnessed my evolution into auctions, and that is further evolving. So I'm going to tell you my plans. And I'm also on Collect, so check out my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Come out to the Madison Card Show tomorrow. Also find me on Collect's 1 Million Cubs. You should be able to search my name. The team got back to me yesterday and said there was an issue because I changed my username. So it had to be re-indexed. So it was coming up as Bo instead of 1 Million Cubs. So now I think if you search 1 Million Cubs, you should be able to find me over on Collect. So download the Collect app, COLLX. I've got almost 2,000 cards in my inventory, and that number will grow. Won't be adding anything over the next couple days as I prepare for the Madison Card Show tomorrow, shipping, and the Sammy Sosa event, which is tomorrow night. So busy weekend ahead. All right, I think that's enough of the shilling that I had. It's also Friday. We're going to play the free-for-all. Today's going to be a tough one. We've got a mix. There's a couple gimmies in here, but there's some tough ones, mainly baseball. I think there's like one lonely football card in here. So we're going to play Name That Player later this morning. Let's go check out the chat. Louis Baines in the house. Good morning. George is here. What's happening? Mr. Archer, good morning. I know we've got some folks down in the southeast in Florida and Georgia. Hopefully they are staying safe, including Kevin Hawthorne in Lakeland, Florida. No, Hurricane Helene hit landfall last night and producing a lot of rain and hurricane type stuff. Victor, good morning. Sammy Sosa weekend is upon us. By the way, Sammy Sosa is in town. Sammy Sosa's in Chicago. He landed last night. So, Sammy, I know he's got a day. He's going to a children's hospital in Chicago today. I think he's doing something else today. Of course, tomorrow is the event out at Club 400, getting to meet Sammy Sosa. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Are we going to do dissection class today on your backyard pile of guts? No. I threw him in the pond, and Kyle is our resident wildlife expert here on Hobby Evolution. I should ask, should I have thrown the guts in the pond? Was that a good decision, bad decision, or it's nature, it'll take its course? I'm curious on that. After I did it, I'm like, maybe since I don't know what these things are, should I have thrown them in a waterway? Herman's in the house. Good morning. Hopefully you're staying safe. I know he says it's been a rough night. Lots of rain in Georgia. Cooter wants to know if Herman has power. Not at the moment. No power at Herman's house. Peter's in the house. Happy Friday to you. Orlando is here. Good morning. Chupacabra. Hopefully you won't be out long, says Cooter. Orlando laughing. Scat. That means poop. I do know that. Our power company has over 3,000 outages, so there's no telling. Zach says, I just tuned in. Is this something you are trying to sell on Collex? If Collex doesn't have authentication, you may need to move that inventory to eBay. Find me on Collex. 1 million Cubs. John thinks the weird shit that was in my backyard looks game worn. John says, wait, you didn't have to call someone else to handle this issue. Not this one. Not this one. If I would have waited a day, though, the lawn mowing crew would have taken care of it. Just chopped it up and be a big old disgusting mess. Brian says, I'm sure HOA happy you throwing animal parts in the pond. And that's my question. Should I be throwing animal? I mean, there's probably, don't you think there's animal guts in the pond already? Like, don't you think there's worse shit in the pond? Like, this is nature. Like, that's my thought. Like, there's a lot of animals in the pond already. Now this is just the insides of the animals. I mean, think of all the animal poop that's in the pond. Not to mention whatever the neighbors are putting in the pond with their lawn chemicals. Zach says, no, dude, what you are showing to all of us on your broadcast. His Twitter comment. Michael Renicke's in the house. Good morning. Probably owl dung. Kyle says it's a stomach or intestines from a rabbit. Thank your neighborhood coyote or owl for leaving it there. Don't throw guts in the pond. Put them in the garden. Oh, why in the garden? Yuck. I don't want those anywhere near my garden. Okay, so intestines was definitely something that the first thing I thought was intestines, because it also had the intestine smell. Pretty shitty, if you know what I mean. Rabbit makes sense. Rabbit, because we have rabbits. But I haven't seen old Buddy the Rabbit lately. Mikey says, my eBay auctions end this morning. Make sure to get your bids in. I was outbid, and I put my best bid forward on Fernando Cruz and I think Shota. I put my best bids forward. I was outbid last night, so you're going to get some good sales there. Hammer 44 is in the house. Good morning. Happy Friday. Brian is here. Good morning. Sales question mark. We don't need sales. We need impressions. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Sales are up. I think yesterday was a slower eBay sales day, which I was expecting, and I'm expecting a slow weekend on eBay this week. Why is that? Why am I expecting a slow sales weekend? Because on Monday, I'm going to come and I'm like, oh my God, my weekend sales sucked. And you know why they sucked? And I'm already predicting my weekend sales are going to suck. And doesn't have anything to do with the economy. It doesn't have anything to do with impressions. It doesn't have anything to do with the algorithm. There's only one place to blame. It's not the Madison Card Show. It's me. You got to look in the mirror. Why are your sales down? Look in the mirror. I'm looking. It's not a mirror. It's a camera. That's the problem right there. Me. That's why my sales are going to be down. They were down yesterday, I think. Let me see. I haven't actually looked at the numbers. They felt like they were down. Maybe I had a decent sales day in the end. But I am predicting my sales are going to be down. Yes, they were below expectations. And I expect today to probably be at or below my expectations. Same with Saturday. Maybe I'll see a bump. I don't have any auctions running Sunday. So I expect sales to be down because I'm not listing anything. I did list a batch of like 50 cards yesterday. I listed 50 cards, but I listed 50 mostly $1.75 cards. I did sell a few, but that's like $3-4. So not going too far. How do I make sales? I list more. I list more good stuff. And I haven't listed much good stuff here over the last 2 days. And we're going to see a trickle down. I also haven't listed many like higher dollar items. I did get some offers coming overnight that I would have, if they were good, I would have accepted them. Usually when I like wake up in the morning, I see my notifications and I see offers. If it's a good offer, I accept it. If it's an okay offer, I'll just forget about it until later in the day and be like, oh, I'm going to go check my offers. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this one and I'm going to counter it. The bad offers, I just ignore altogether. Nobody ain't got no time for that. So that's my thought. So I'm going to have a bad sales weekend is my prediction. However, I'm going to use this time to transition into my evolution, my sales strategy evolution. And I've I've been running auctions lately. You can find them at 99centcards.com. There's actually 2 batches of auctions. I just started a new batch last night, Wisconsin sports and memorabilia based. Bucks, Brewers, Badgers, Packers stuff went live last night. There's cards. There's an old Wisconsin Badger ticket stub that's already up to like $15, which I'm shocked. What else? I've got a Brewers blue autograph slab of somebody, Hunter Morris, maybe. I can't remember. That's some decent stuff. So check those auctions out. Of course, we got our Tuesday auctions, which we'll do a live stream on Tuesday night starting at 7 p.m. Central to watch the final hammer drop on those auctions. And there's some really good stuff at the Marino rookie's already at like $25 or $30, which this is probably the best copy of the 3 that I bought at last month's Madison Card Show. So the worst of the 3 was just really like more off center that ended this past week. And that sold for, I think 30 after shipping, like 35. And this copy that's up for auction right now is the best of the 3 copies. The first one I sold at Buy It Now for, I think 40 or 45. So check those auctions out. I was going through preparing for trying to get more of my Wisconsin stuff for last night scheduled yesterday. And I'm going through and I'm like, oh, this is these are all good auction cards to list. It's like, well, I'll just start loading them up for Tuesday. And I'm coming across more and more. And I'm like, and now all these ideas are coming into my brain. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to run auctions. No, I'm still going to list Buy It Now items. I'm still listing on collects. Here comes the lawn mowing, man. Good thing I got those intestines out of the yard last night. So my thought process is last night I ran the Wisconsin auctions, and I've been curating some auctions, and of course we're doing the Tuesday auctions. Did some Sunday auctions last week. Last night we've got Thursday auctions. And I'm like, I have 500. You get 500 for premium store. You get 500 auctions on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. And then after that, you have to pay. And I'm like, I'm going to run the numbers. I'm going to run the numbers here and just see what the cost is. So I'll write down with you as I say. So so we've got 500 auctions. After that, with a premium store, it's 15 cents per auction listing. However, if your item sells, if you pay 15-cent insertion fee on an auction and it sells, you get that 15-cent refunded. So it's basically like a free auction if it sells. Now, if it doesn't sell, you're stuck with the 15 cents. It's like going to Aldi's and renting a cart. You have to pay 25 cents for the cart, but if you put it back, you get your 25 cents back. But you can keep the cart for 25 cents. So if you want a grocery cart, you can go to Aldi's and buy one for 25 cents. Okay, don't do that. I think there's probably a law against that. But that's what I always thought. Just buy the cart for 25 cents. All right, anyway. So you get your 15 cents back if your auction doesn't sell. So my thought process, okay, we're going to do the math and I'm going to tell you the rationale why I came up with all this crap. So what if I run 1,000 auctions a month? 1,000 auctions a month. Okay. Remember a few months ago I said auctions suck? They still do sometimes. Sometimes they're really good. Sometimes they suck. So 1,000 auctions. Okay. So that's 500. I got to get my calculator out. I could probably do the math in my head, but I'm not gonna. 500 times 15 cents, assuming none of them sell. That's $75. Oof. That's assuming 75, 500 at 75. So I'm going to list 1,000 auctions. So if none of those 500 auctions sell, then I'm out $75. Well, again, that look in the mirror. That's a me problem. If I'm listing 500 auctions that don't sell, hello, McFly, that's dumb. Change that. So I'm going to go conservative. 25% of my auctions are not going to sell because as we do volume, just like listing 50,000, 100,000 listings in your eBay store, when I had 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, I was selling a lot more of my inventory. Why? Because I was cherry picking the best items to sell. I wasn't just scanning 1,000 cards a day, and it's 76 tops traded John Ellis. So that's not a very liquid card, but auctions are super liquid. So we're just going to assume 25% of the auctions won't sell. Of 500 that we're paying for, that's 125 no sale auctions at 15 cents a pop. Don't clear it out. 15 cents a pop. That's $18.75. That's a pretty easy pill to swallow. $18.75 because you've got another 375 auctions that are selling at a minimum of 99 cents plus 99-cent shipping for the most part. So you're making that money back pretty quickly. Okay, so those are the numbers. Now, why do I want to do auctions? Because there's two reasons. One, I know it's going to sell. If I list good stuff, just like if you list buy it now, if you list good stuff, it's going to sell. If you list shitty stuff, it might not sell. Even some shitty stuff does sell. I'll probably sell that John Ellis 1976 tops traded eventually. But with the auctions, I know in 7 days, boom. Okay, if I run 50 auctions Thursday night, most of them sell. I know that money's coming in on a day-to-day basis. If I run auctions every day, there's going to be money coming in. Now, I'm not my buy it now sales are great, but I'm in sales. Sales are never enough. Now, this isn't like my business is struggling. I have to liquidate my auctions. There's some reasons behind this. Number one, I have way too much inventory. And I'm running low on listings on eBay in terms of free listings to just sit. And eventually they'll sell, yes. But if I list them at auction, they will sell. Now, if I didn't have the inventory, I wouldn't worry about this. When I had 30,000 listings still, yeah, I'll get to it. But that's kind of a shitty way to do business. I'll get to it. That is not a good way to do business. So I'm going to roll these auctions out, and I think I'm going to roll out another batch on Sunday. Now, also, the picking time is way faster on my auctions, because say I run 50 to 100 batches at a time. That's 50 to 100. That's like one tab. I can make an auction box, and now that I'm starting to scale up my auctions, I can put them in an auction box. Here's Sunday night auctions, and I'll probably just use Post-it notes. I won't waste my plastic tabs. And it's super easy to pull. Okay, here's Sunday auctions. Here's my pile of boom, 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 boom. And it takes me no time at all. Whereas with 100,000 cards in my buy it now inventory, when I'm pulling cards, it's like, oh, this is box 22R, 23AI, box 1 AA, box 9S. And I'm pulling. Now I'm pulling from one stack. Okay, now there's going to be buy it nows mixed in and all that. But for the most part, those auctions that are running are going to be pulled from one stack. So I'm going to do more auctions. More. Yes, I'm still selling on Collect, COLLX, find me 1 million Cubs. Yes, I'm still going to list buy it now. Nothing is changing with my current status. I also have more time as we're getting into hoodie season. I don't have to go tend to my garden. Maybe I'll have to go pick up rabbit intestines every now and then. But I'll be homebound for the next several months as winter is coming. So there we go. So that's my evolution into more eBay auctions. Let's go back into the chat. Zach and Porter says John Keating is the modern day Dave Coulier. I find everything he says and does productive, especially his basement tapes. An homage to those who never moved out of their parents' bottom floor. John says, anyone want to ask me a question about hurricanes? There you go. John has answers. You have questions? Keating has answers. Herman, are you in your car watching this to get power on your phone? Or are you set up with a Generac? T206 Kid is here. Who was the boxer that was known as the Hurricane in Bob Dylan's song? Somebody's probably, there it is. Reuben Carter. Yes, the Hurricane, which was a movie which was released in 1998? I think I was working at the IGA when that movie came out. The Hurricane, Reuben Carter. Thank you, Zach, because I would not have come up with that. I would have had to Google. Kept phone and tablets on the charger last night. Ooh, that's smart thinking. Herb Washington, not on Name That Player today. So anyone else is free range. Herb Washington, not a part of Name That Player. Solid movie, that Hurricane. Good morning, Red Light 34 in the house. Mr. Archer says, lots of rain here in East Tennessee, hoping the high winds avoid us. Yeah, I saw that it's the storm is like going all the way up into like Illinois, like the aftermath. All the way up into like central Illinois, we'll see like increased winds from this hurricane. T206 Kid says, ding, ding, ding. From, is it Paterson or Patterson, New Jersey? Only one T. No offense to Sammy, but do kids at the hospital even know who he is? Probably not. Christian's in the house. Good morning. He says, go Tigers. John says, hello. Orlando says, Sports Card Radio is doing a king and queen of the hobby. Voted for Mangini. He's second to Jeff Wilson. Vote. I did watch some of Sports Card Radio last week, and I saw that they were doing the king and queen of the hobby, which is I find bizarre. But I don't know what the criteria, what is the criteria? Like, why, who is the king of the hobby and why? Like, what's the, and is it sports card radio? So I don't know. Are they joking? So who is the king of the hobby? Who cares where the guts go? Animals will eat it wherever. And that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, it's just going to be fish food. What was the song Fish Guts? Fish guts, roly-poly fish guts. Was that a song, or am I just on an opium high or something? Fish guts. And these aren't fish guts. These are fish guts. Shel Silverstein's Underwater Land. Oh, maybe it was Fish Head. Fish Head. Maybe that's the song of Fish Head, Fish Head. Peter says, I don't think it matters. That's my thought. I don't think it matters if you throw in the pond. Jeff Wilson is the queen of the hobby, hands down. Christian says, sorry, Twins and Royals fans, maybe they shouldn't take a month off at the end of the season. King is Rich Klein. Queen is Keating's Jeep. That's got my vote. That's got my vote. John says, God obviously hates the South. Offbeat All-Stars in the house. Good morning. Although there were no power outages in the Bible. Grinding for good in the house. Happy Friday. Good morning, Tracy. E-learning day. Oh, yeah. Tracy's down in, I believe, South Carolina. John says, what the hell am I saying? Zach says, John, there was a plague, so perhaps a bit more inconvenient. 1 week into being laid off, 3 interviews in process. Hopefully I'll have an offer by the end of next week. Good luck. Good luck. George says, I posted that video with crappy sound for the engagement, Zach. Shot straight to #1 on my impressions, although the video sound was a big #2. Noah Old Testament, all part of the plan. Brian says, seems like the pond is a perfect spot for it. Yeah. And I didn't want to throw it in like the weeds in the backyard because then it might smell. And I don't want to smell animal guts. Zach says, George, smart move. Bo decided to start a show with some National Geographic stuff to keep LRS away. I did. Schools closed in Louisville today, including the University of Louisville. 5 inches of rain today and 50-mile-per-hour winds, but they are still holding the outdoor concert louder than life. John says, I need to call the Liver King. Is he still out there? The Liver King. He'll take care of those innards for you. I like how Kyle gave a phonetic spelling. He knows his audience. Zach says, I was outbid on the Dwight Clark. I have 4 others still holding on. My best offer. George says, currently uploading a redo rather than throwing stuff in a pond. My solution is as gross. Brian says, weird, you know what intestines smell like. Serial killer. Well, I mean, where is poop? Where is poop? Poop is in the intestines. That's just like simple. I was not very good at science, but even I know that poop is in the intestines. Zach and Porter says, I predict Frank found that in his yard. Still blames Bo. Rode his robot mower over to the new house and dumped in his yard. George says, if it uploads with that crappy sound again, I'll just give up and retire for another 2 years. No, we demand the hobby drive. Max says, even though the economy sucks right now. I mean, people are still, and people say that. And I know grocery prices are up and gas prices actually aren't that crazy. But I'm having record months selling baseball cards. You're selling Pokemon cards. We're doing okay. I assume you're doing okay. I'm doing great selling baseball cards. My wife's selling houses out the wazoo. People are buying shit. Luxury items. So I think the media spinning some narratives. Spending too much time on Collector X or whatever, less on eBay. Kyle says, guts are full of nutrients that plants need to grow. Farmers spread manure on your fields. Guts introduce foreign bacteria into your pond. Well, shit, Kyle, it's too late now. Fuck. Zach says it is tough for homeowners right now. I can empathize with Max. Jody says good morning. Max doesn't follow. Zach says the economy. What does homeowning have anything to do with that? Cooter says Southeast U.S. sales will be down for a couple weeks. People will be busy cleaning up. Zach says, I can tell you what business is thriving. I am an independent voter in Wisconsin, and so I get 5,000 mailers every day. I just checked and informed USPS. 5 of the 6, all garbage. The USPS is doing well in this poor economy. The 2 candidates are doing okay. Brian says, going on a cruise on Monday. Hopefully all the shitty weather sticking with Helene. Zach and Porter says, I hear the price of energy, groceries, etc. are making it tough for homeowners. It is on my TV every day with ads. The families who are shown aren't in a box. The Postal Service is always thriving. It is run like shit. Cooter ain't wrong, says Zach. Your lawn mowing man is there way too early for this time of year. Your grass is still most likely wet. Frank is shaking his head right now. It probably still is. It was wet at 4:30. It's like, did it rain last night? Because it's awfully wet out here. Brian says the Postal Service, for what they do, is hardly run like shit. I'm going to say it's run like shit. Zach says 2 things that never cease to amaze me. I can put something in a box with a sticker on it, and it arrives across the country in a few days. Also, fax machines. That is crazy. Are they still using, I've been out of college athletics for 10 years now. We were still using fax universities, not just us, although they probably still are using fax machines at Western Illinois University, but colleges and universities still using fax machines in 2014. One day a year, signing day. Why they still used fax machines on signing day blows my mind, as much as fax machines do. Red Light 34 says, no, I don't. I can 3D print a quarter to put into the cart. Oh, there you go. Max says, BJ, it's run like shit. 100%. Do you work there? Kyle says, keeping the Aldi cart for 25 cents sounds like LRS type advice. Well, that's probably where I picked it up. Low Roller Scratcher told me, hey, you can buy the grocery cart for 25 cents. Zach and Porter says, if it's working somewhere that isn't run well is a club, it would have the largest membership of any club in the world. George says, tell me a delivery service that isn't run like shit. Good point. A-holes lost my 6-pack of Spam. Was a delivery company and not a post office. Cooter says postal rates would not be as high had Congress not stripped its surplus in years past to pay for tax cuts. We are now funding decades of pension liabilities. Brian says, how is it run like shit? No, I don't work there, but maybe I'm postal. That's why it's run like shit. Thank you, Cooter. George says, food delivery, run like shit too. Often gets smashed food or even no food. I've had to drive to the restaurant and pick up food multiple times after delivery driver misdelivered and wouldn't admit it. Brian says, some jackass politician took away all the sorting machines and made many moves to bankrupt the USPS, but according to uneducated half of America, it's cool. Yeah, the sorting machine debacle, that was a bunch of bullshit. George says, so delivery services are just crap. There you go. Inconsistencies, personnel, insolvent, etc. Cooter says, funny thing, when I suggested auction countdowns, it was more as a spoof of Jeremy Lee's streams. Who knew? Yeah, Cooter, you created a monster, an eBay auction monster. Because that was why I started doing them, was because of your advice. Like, hey, you should do this like Jeremy Lee stream. But they're 99-cent cards, not Wayne Gretzky OPC 10s. And here we are. I'm trying to be selective on, like, I'm certainly not going to put Michael Jordan lots on auction again. Swing and a miss. But singles that I just have an overabundance of, like I'll throw those as long as I think they can sell at 99 cents. Unicorn Cupcake says, Jeremy Lee reminds me of the guy from Powder. Zach says, speaking of 40 years, Bo will never catch up on this chat, but I get a sense Bo needed this therapeutic monologue today. I did. 7:45. We're only 11 minutes behind. Mikey says, my Sapphire order of Bowman Chrome basketball just popped at 16 of 20, PSA 10. So they definitely haven't tightened their standards, just people submitting crappy cards and complaining. Max says he'll catch up, just will ignore half. Fish heads. Thank you. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. I think I voted about 50 times for Mangini today. You can just vote and click refresh and vote again. I'm rigging this election. Jody, Fishhead. Everybody knows the Fishhead song. Cooter says USPS insolvency due to politicians, not management. They defund it, do their best to kill it, and then point to it as they run for office saying they can fix it. Is Fishhead butt rocks? Fishhead is who sings Fishheads? Fishhead song. It's kind of like Barnes and Barnes. It's I would say it's like a goofy alternative rock song, I guess. Think of Primus. I would put it in the same category as Primus, just kind of goofy, off the wall shit. George is going to cast another 50 ballots tomorrow. Reuben Carter was falsely tried. His name is mentioned multiple times in the song. What Johnny Cash song did Shel Silverstein write? Ooh, I don't know. Ring of Fire? I don't know. Mikey says, I got Angel Reese Green of 99 first Sapphire, PSA 10, Caitlin Clark Sapphire 10, Cameron Brink, Paige Beakers. Cooter says, you were probably too young to remember Dr. Demento. I do remember Dr. Demento. I mean, I remember, I know, I shouldn't say I remember Dr. I know of Dr. Demento. Fishheads was a frequent play. I know of Dr. Demento. I think he was popular before. He was more of a 70s, wasn't he? Mid, late 70s type era. Weird Al's idol and how he got his start. You ain't that old, Okie. Mikey says, hey, Weird Al is coming to Madison next year. My buddy, when we were at the Village Green the other night, he goes, Weird Al's coming. I'm like, oh, when? And I'm thinking, like, November, December. Like, no, next September. He's like, oh, this time next year. I'm like, next year? It's at the Breeze Stevens Field, which is where the soccer team plays. So I would be all about going to Weird Al, but I'm going to forget about it several times by the time the concert actually comes. And it's going to be like, my buddy's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to Weird Al tomorrow night. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot Weird Al's coming. There you go, Mikey's auctions. Brian says he called the shit poop again. It's poop again. Media never lies. I haven't sold a Lorcana card in 3 weeks. World's going to end. Bizarra Collectibles is here. Good morning. Does TCGs typically move faster than sports? My sports category seems stagnant, but TCG is flying off the shelves. I cannot answer that because I only sell sports cards, so couldn't tell you. Kyle says in most states, it is illegal to throw animal guts into a body of water. Probably doesn't really matter in your case, as that pond is already full of weed spray and fertilizer. Right. Yeah. Fun fact, Herb Washington's nickname was Hurricane. I did not know that. Learning something new every day. Max says your little online card shop isn't a barometer for the economy, but it's a barometer for me. I mean, people are still spending money. I am making a living selling baseball cards in a, quote, shitty economy. So I don't know what to tell you. Mailman said 2 hours sorting those political mailings every day. He doesn't enjoy the experience. Yuck. John says if the right would embrace wind farms, then we'd be able to make money from hurricane power. Bitcoin is back, baby. Fun fact, Herb Washington was born in Belzoni, Mississippi. That sounds like a fun town. Scan and Send has taken over fax machines. Andy Mack says USPS goes to every mailbox in the U.S. every day. That's not an easy task to do, especially when they can't even control their own rates. No stamp increases in the end of the year. LRS, Q Stone Cold Music. He's back. Will my Erling Haaland card be delayed by the hurricane? If so, can you call the post office to see when it'll arrive? October to December could be the biggest crypto gain based on crypto history in the last 10 years. There you go. Unicorn Cupcake said, you said that the other day. He says a lot of things, multiple times, every day. New jobs up, domestic production up, stock market setting records, COVID tariff-driven inflation coming down and actually making decent interest on my CDs. I will take facts over feelings. Fucking men. Thank you, Cooter. LRS, timeout alert. LRS, why are you giving his advice for free? Are you almost running out of free listings? Yes, I am. Even in this economy, you could be, you could make bank with this advice. Cooter says, you better put me in a timeout, John. Matty Ice is in the house. Good morning. George says, by the way, as a Mississippian, should I give Bo the pronunciation or let him sink? Hint, it's not pronounced the way it's spelled. Oh, I would have no idea. Ends with the sound of a different vowel. Demento. LRS is slow down. This ain't your first date. Ease into the chat. John Myers is here. Thank God it's the Free for All Friday. John says only people that care about stamps or card sellers. Mail is the most outdated form of communication available to us humans. That's actually a really good point. That is a very good point. Let's see. Unicorn Cupcake says if Bo puts up a BTC ticker on screen, maybe LRS won't have to update us every day that it goes up. Zach says my wife brought that up. We may go. My BTC investments need to pay off so I can save up for the tickets. Otherwise, I'll sell all these forever stamps I invested in for profit. There you go. What do you think of Impractical Jokers? They're okay. Kyle says, Belzona. Been there. Heard the locals say it. If Bo's online store isn't a barometer, then neither is a card show. I'm sticking with LRS on this one. His excitement on BTC makes me think this economy is thriving. George laughs. I knew that pronunciation was coming. Kyle, correct. Belzona. Cooter gets my vote. His name is Cooter. He understands oil and cardboard. Look your Shiba Inu. Check your crypto portfolio. I'm probably still down. Let's see. Where are we at? Where's my Coinbase account? All right, here's the true barometer of how the economy. Hey, my crypto account is LRS was right. He's our economy barometer. Let's see. Shiba Inu. It has gone up quite a bit. I don't think it's gone up. What's my overall return on this? All-time return. That's all-time. I bought Shiba Inu back in 2021. All right, so I invested $100. Almost exactly October 5th, 2021 is when I purchased Shiba Inu crypto. So we're going on 3 years, and my $100 investment is now worth $119.73. Wow, what a great investment. But it is up. Kendall says, mind doing a quick demo of the Collects Marketplace? Unfortunately, I can't. because it's an app, and I don't have an app on my computer. So I could like show you from my phone, but that wouldn't be fun. I can show you what I can do is I can show you here. Let's do 5. We'll scan 5 cards. So I'm going to use my feed scanner, turn it on, delete my folder over here. So we're going to scan 5 cards and we're going to upload them to Collects using Card Dealer Pro. Yes, we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to put those in. All right, scan these bad boys. All right, scanning complete. Check this out. What the hell? It did back and front first. Oh, because I think I did them upside down. Oh, we're going to have to redo this. Yes. Okay. All right. Do this again. Put them in the wrong. Okay. Now we should go. Scanning, take 2. All right. And perfect. We're going to save those scans. All right. Now, we should probably share my screen, shouldn't we? Stop and present. So we're in CDP. So here's my batches. I'm going to take your comment down so we can see more of the screen. Actually, we're just going to boom. There we go. All right. So we're going to create a new batch. This is going to be Collects 1AD. So I'm going to add this batch. Collects 1AD. And this is baseball. Baseball. Generic description template. These are 70s cards. So we're just going to put excellent. We're going to do 49 cents. We're going to create the batch. We're going to do a little magic scan. There we go. My 5 cards. Uploaded. Continue. All righty. So we've got Doug Bird. We've got John Ellis. Ed Figueroa, Rusty Staub, Ralph Garr. Boom. Everything perfect. I'm going to go in here. The only thing I need to do is I'm going to put my SKU in here, and this is going to be clear values. Set all SKUs to the same. Collects, box 1, tab AD. Fill selected. And then all you do, list, send to Collects. Boom. They're already listed. That's how easy it is. I can't, unfortunately, it's only on the app, so I can do this, I guess. So where's Collects? Go to my listings. So here's like my screen. I've got 1825 items listed, list value there, my followers, my listings. So those are the cards that we scanned in. Ralph Garr. Boom. There you go. And that's Collects. COLLX. Find me at 1 Million Cubs. Shane is here. Politics, poop, and fish heads. I'm out. Have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Unicorn Cupcake says, did you actually buy crypto based on LRS's recommendations? No. No, I did not. No, I did not. John says, one of my colleagues used to direct Impractical Jokers. When we're working on shows, I always tell him, this ain't the Impractical Jokers, and you aren't in the mall food court when he runs cables. So I've been, speaking of Impractical Jokers, I've been a couple like similar shows. They're not TV shows like Impractical Jokers, but they're like YouTube shows, prankster videos. They get lots of views on TikTok and YouTube and all that crap. So there's one that I really like. and there's one that I hate. So one of them that pops up is Damon Darling. Have you ever heard of Damon Darling? I think he's based out of like Columbus, Ohio. And he goes around, and I think when the first video, I'm like laughing my ass off. He's like standing in the beer section of Walmart. He's like in the alcohol aisle at Walmart. And he'll just like casually walk up and he'll go like, yep, 8 years sober myself. And the people are just kind of like, oh, and sometimes they engage and like, oh yeah, congratulations. He's like, yep, just here planting little seeds. And just goes on and has this like goofy conversation with these people. And it's not just like 8 years sober. Sometimes it's like caffeine free and all this. And it's funny. Now there's another one that I despise. He's called White Dolomite. I shouldn't even say the name, but he's dressed up as this like farmer with like straw hat, overalls, and he goes up to people and calls him boy in like Walmart. And he got punched once. He should get punched more. I hate that one. But speaking of impractical jokers, Orlando wants to talk impressions. Yeah. Low Roller says, I bought Shiba Inu on peak. If you bought Shiba Inu last year, you probably tripled your money today. And I didn't. Last impression I care about is when Donna Spencer punched me in 8th grade. The ring she was wearing left a mark. Johnny M's in the house. Good morning. As someone heavily invested in Bitcoin, I do not mind the updates. Brian thinks Donna Spencer is a legend. God bless Donna Spencer. Zach says, I don't think it is legal to talk about what you made on Bitcoin in a video. That is how they got Bankman. SBF sharing a crib with Diddy now. Imagine those freak offs. Dan says, watching season 1 of Person of Interest, enjoyable show. In jail, I would assume Buttcoin is more valuable than Bitcoin. I bet so. Figaro, 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 Figaro. Saw that. That is an SNL skit. I'm sad that I'll never get invited to a freak off when I made it big in the YouTube creator space. The Shota sold for 15. I should have bid higher. What was my high? I think my high bid was only like 14 or something. John says, I'm sad that Costco doesn't sell baby oil. Kendall says, what's been moving on Collect? Seems like it would be a fairly narrow buyer pool. I'm just listing commons. I've sold, I think I'm up to 76 card sales in less than a week. Let's see. I know, like, I don't sell slabs, but slabs sell really fast on Collects. Let's see. I've sold 76 cards, my sales. So my most recent sale, I sold a bunch of 78 tops commons and some 2004 Fleer Greats of the Game. This batch, I sold the 78 tops Herman Franks, a few, mostly 76 tops football commons, and some minor stars. This one was a bunch of Ken Griffey Jr. cards. That's the only batch that was like non-common. I listed an 89 Fleer Ken Griffey Jr. rookie for $5. It sold instantly. So that's what I'm listing. Now, what I can tell you sells, I can't really give you an accurate because I'm listing stuff that I wouldn't list on eBay. It's basic. I'm using Collects like I would use Sport Lots. That's the type of stuff I'm listing and selling. Max says, Dan, POI is an awesome show. George says, baby oil in bulk and an AK in the closet. That's the only way to freak. Baby oil doesn't work very well, but pleasure spray does. Okay. All right, Mikey. Jesus. Where are the sex bots when we need them? Mikey is laughing. George says they could add this to the conversation. They could add to this conversation. Unicorn Cupcake says, I've often wondered, do sex bots pay taxes? I bet Low Roller Scratcher knows. Mikey feels bad now. Don't feel bad. All right, let's play Name That Player. We've got a tough one today. Where's the scoreboard? Uncle Rich with the lead, 26 points. Max in second with 23. Card Hobbyist in third place with 18. Michael Renicky in fourth with 17. Offbeat All-Stars has 8. There's the rest of your scoreboard. Please don't get any of the pleasure spray on Zach's cards. So we are playing Name That Player. Tough one today. There are a couple gimmies, but a couple tough ones. So let's start it off. We've got Allen and Ginter. It's not baseball, though. It's the racket sport. I got to get my YouTube out on the phone. Make sure we don't have any drama. It is kind of a multiple. Excuse me. It is kind of a multiple choice, isn't it? It is a Williams sister. I saw both of them come up. Serena, Unicorn Cupcake, gets the point. Yes, Serena Williams. Unicorn Cupcake was the first. And do you have points? I thought you did. Maybe not. Is that your first point? I don't see you on the leaderboard here. Unicorn Cupcake with the point. All right, next up, football. Football. Here we go. This is a rookie card. It is Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch, Max with the point. Marshawn Lynch. I think he's on the, he's a nominee, first-time nominee. I think he was eligible for the first time this year for the Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame. 24 points for Max. We're going baseball now. Baseball, baseball, baseball. Look at this afro. Look at that afro, baby. White Sox. This is a tough one. Oh, wow. We've got a couple correct answers. It's Lamar Hoyt. Wow, I'm impressed. I am impressed. First one to get it. Michael Renicky. Michael Renicky. I'm going to give Lamar because how many Lamars are out there? You're now tied with Card Hobbyist. All right. The next one, I won't give credit for first name only. I should probably. John says Hoyt was a layup. All right. So I will not accept first name on this one. I think I'm going to need to be, I'll be clearer. Seattle Mariners. This card is from 2004. Last name only. We won't take off for spelling as long as it's, you get most of the letters in there. It is not Jay Buhner, but Michael Renicky got it. Rich Aurelia. Rich Aurelia. Michael Renicky on fire this morning. And he now leapfrogs Card Hobbyist for third place. And he's knocking on Max's front door here. All right. Back door, front door, side door, sliding door. All right. 19 for Michael Renicky. Next up, football. Football. Last name only. Last name only. He played for the Raiders. This is 1976 Topps football. And he was a Raider. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. Grinding for Good knows it. SoCal guy knows it. Mikey knows it. Gene Upshaw. Gene Upshaw. First one to get that one. Grinding for Good. Grinding for Good with the point. I think that's your second point. Grinding for Good, 2 points. So that moves you up ahead. Next up is baseball. There we go. Grinding for Good. All right. Next up, baseball. Two Upshaws on the Raiders. Yeah. Gene Upshaw and Marvin Upshaw. We'll take Upshaw. Mikey was not first. Mikey, you were, let's see. Grinding for Good was first. Matt Like was second. SoCal guy was third. Mikey, you were fourth. Next up, the Blue Jays. Another 81 Topps card. Hey, I'll take first name on this one. I'll take first name on this one. We don't need it, though, because Michael Renicky provided the last name. He shares a name with my little puppy, Ernie. Ernie Witt is correct. Michael Renicky with the fastest response. 20 points for Michael Renicky. Oh, we go back to the 70s for the next one. 1976. Padres. Let's see. Where are we at? It's not Jones. It is Doug Raider. SoCal guy with the point. The Red Rooster before Terry Taylor. Any of my wrestling fans in the house? SoCal guy. 6 points now for SoCal guy. He moves out of a tie with that dude. All right. Max wants to know any more guys. So for Max, we only name that player. We only can do cards of people that Max knows. Only players that Max knows. That's the only way it's fair. If Max knows it and you don't, you're shit out of luck. But if you know it and Max doesn't know it, then it's unfair. Here we go. Who's this guy? He is still alive. And he got it. Hey, congrats, Max. You got it. Derek Lee is correct. All right. Max is at 25, just behind Uncle Rich. All right. Next up, John Keating should know this one. John Keating should know this one. From Philly, more 1981 Topps. Maddox is correct. Michael Renicky. Gary Maddox. He is still alive. I think he's still alive. Michael Renicky. Michael Renicky with the point. Where are we at? Michael Renicky with 21 points. Next up, back to the 70s. Dave Arnold's in the house. Hey, I've got the Spartans, baby. What year is this? 2005. Bushnell Prairie City. 1976 Tops. Another Padre. It is not Jones. It is not the Goose. It is not Darby Allen. It is not Shirley. It is not Lee. Let's see. It's not Jim. It's not Stanley. It's not Frieselben. It's not Rasmussen. This is a tough one. It's not Dave Winfield. It's not Tomlin. Pitcher, played for the Dodgers from 1967 to 1970. Played for the Indians in 1971. Played for the Angels in 1972. Played for the Cardinals in 73, 74. Played for the Padres. It's not Maddox. It's not Ohtani. It's not Eckersley. It's not Jerry. It's not Dave Dravecki. It's not Jones or Poston. It's not Foster. Oh, wait. It is Foster, though. Yes, Matt Like. Oh, wait. No, Michael Renicky. We had a few Fosters come in. I think Michael was first. Let me check. Foster. Michael Renicky was first. Allen Foster. Michael Renicky is at 22 points. We've got a game. Uncle Rich 26, Max 25, Michael Renicky 22. All right. Ooh, another fun one. We've got a couple gimmies. This is a gimme. The next one is a gimme. And the last one, not a gimme, but should get it. Not a baseball player. Who is this guy? Joey Chestnut is correct. Max with the point. Joey Chestnut. All right, next up. Another gimme. Max tied with Uncle Rich. All right. Get ready. This is going to be who has the fastest internet, because y'all going to know this one. Matt says if there's points for being second, he'd have about 12. All right. Get ready. Fastest internet wins on this one. It appears Dave Arnold does not have the fastest internet. Bo Jackson is correct. And Michael Renicky even spelled out Jackson. I would have taken Bo. Where are we at? Michael Renicky. 23 points. Last card of the day. Not a gimme. New York Yankees pitcher. Before I give a clue, I want to make sure I get this accurate. I don't want to. All right, let's see. Okay, not what I thought of. All right, let's see if anybody. I don't think we've got any correct answers yet. And I don't have a hint because I was thinking of somebody else. Let's see. It's not Wood. It's not Nola. It's not Wells, not Rasmussen, not Jabba, not Johnson, not Finley, not Monteleone, not Turley, not Wells, not Clark, not Wickman, not Gullickson, not Wetland. 2004. He played for the Montreal Expos. He was one of few pitchers in the majors to average 200 strikeouts from 2000 to 2003. It's not Leiter. It's not Westbrook. It's not Lytle or Steeb or Wetland. Let's see. He was traded to the Yankees, I think, prior to the 2004 season. Let's see. Not Wetland, not Carsey, not Tyone, not Quantrill, not Nomo, not Lowe. I think he was born in Puerto Rico. Yes, finally. It's Javier Vasquez. Javier Vasquez. All right. Max with a point, and I think he takes the lead. Uncle Rich is still sleeping, and he lost the lead this morning. Max, 27 points. Uncle Rich with 26. Michael Renicky with a strong showing today climbs up to 23. Card Hobbyist hanging out at 18 points. Offbeat All-Stars has 8. SoCal guy with 6. He broke out of that tie with that dude from Duryea. Yeah, he did have. Javier Vasquez had a great career, and he is forgotten about. I thought that would be easier than what it was. He had a career WAR of 45.6. That's pretty damn good. 165 wins, 2,500 strikeouts, 14-year career. So it's not like he was an accumulator of stats. Like he accumulated 45 WAR over 14 seasons. That's pretty good. It's not like a 21-year career. Let's see what his similarity is. So his similarity scores are Kevin Millwood, AJ Burnett, John Lackey, Felix Hernandez, Andy Benes, Bronson Arroyo. Let's look at his jaws. He ranks 131st among starting pitchers on jaws. He's right below Bartolo Colon, just ahead of Brad Radke and Adam Wainwright. He's ahead of John Lester. He's ahead of Jack Morris. He's ahead of Lefty Gomez. I mean, there's some really, he ranks higher in jaws than Claude Passot, Herb Pennock, who's a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer Addie Joss. He ranks ahead of Vida Blue and Mickey Lolich. He's ahead of former Cub Lon Warneke. He's ahead of Garrett Cole and John Lester. He ranks higher than Hall of Famers Jack Chesbro, Satchel Paige, and Jack Morris. He's ahead of Fernando Valenzuela, Lefty Gomez, Don Newcomb. He's ahead of Catfish Hunter and Madison Bumgarner. Javier Vasquez. Good career. All righty. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. I've got auctions rolling. Tuesday auctions are right in the middle of the week. We'll go live on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central to count down those auctions, and there's some really good auctions on Tuesday. I just added a new batch of auctions last night. Thursday night auctions. These are Wisconsin-based. Let's see. I've got Badger, Bucks, Packers, and Brewers at auction. Those are 7-day auctions just listed last night. I'm going to roll out Sunday night auctions. I'm going to do refractors on Sunday night. I've got a whole batch might be close to 100 refractors of stars going live on Sunday night. All 99-cent auctions. And then, of course, we'll have another batch of Tuesday auctions. So check out the eBay store, 99centcards.com. I'm also listing new inventory on the Collex marketplace, COLLX. Does not have a website, but it is an app. So download the Collex app and find me 1 million Cubs. There's also, you can send deals just like best offer. I've accepted, I think every deal sent my way I've accepted. So check that out. Collex. Find me 1 million Cubs and come see me tomorrow at the Madison Card Show. Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive. Show hours 9 to 3. Free admission. You can get there early. Early birds are welcome at the Madison Card Show. So no Hobby Evolution until Monday because the Madison Card Show tomorrow, no Hobby Evolution. And then I'll be down in the Chicagoland area Saturday night to meet Sammy Sosa. So I'll be out of town Sunday morning. So we'll recap a fun weekend, a busy weekend on Monday morning, 7 a.m. Central. All righty. Have a great day. Have a great weekend if I don't see you at the Sheraton Hotel tomorrow. And we'll talk on Monday.